Hi cuties, my name is Hanako Kozumi and this is the channel Nerdy Nekoma. Everything here is about Haikyuu chat stories and fanfic. Thanks for joining us today. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. And with that, welcome to today's video, or in other words, Cuddles at Midnight. This video happens right after the KinKuni part of the Bottom Scat Nightmare, so I would advise you to watch that first. And yeah, today it's pretty fluff. I mean, there was some her comfort, but generally I would title this as a fluff video, so here you go, fishy. I hope you will like it. And now, let's go. Have you ever had struggles finding good Haikyuu merch or anime merch in general? Because I for sure did. It can be hard. But this shop offers amazing merch. Like, I'm literally obsessed with the Haikyuu merch. They have the cutest hoodies ever. Now, if you want to get 10% off, click the link in the description. They offer me a collaboration, which is literally amazing. And you support my channel this way. So, win-win. Let's go. Akira? You... His voice almost broke, but he felt like a huge weight had been lifted from his shoulders. He could almost laugh at how much at ease he suddenly felt, yet there was a subtle tension still lingering. Akira, what is going on? It's the middle of the night. He tried to answer, but the words were suddenly stuck in his throat. There were a million things he wanted to say, a million things he had to say, yet not a single one left his mouth. He was just so relieved and overcome with joy that Kindaichi was alright, yet it was tainted by the fear and grief still lingering in his mind and heart from the split second he deemed the nightmare real. Without his consent, a sob clawed its way from his throat. Aki? Are you alright? I'm fine. It wasn't enough. Just hearing his voice wasn't enough. Almost automatically, he stood up. His legs carried him to the front door and he quickly changed into shoes and a jacket. You don't sound fine. Can you please tell me what happened? Kunimi held onto his phone like a lifeline. Kindaichi's voice kept him going. It was the only thing moving him forward right in the direction of the proof he needed. Nothing. He was panting a bit as he started running down the street, past dark alleys and poor illuminated buildings. It was dark here at night, with very few street lamps guiding the way. As a child, he was scared of this to no end, but right now, he couldn't care less. We both know that is not true. Just don't hang up, please. Okay. The rest of the noise was swallowed by a car hitting the brakes and honking because the driver almost didn't see Kunimi crossing the street. Kunimi hadn't really seen them either, but he wasn't hit, so it was fine. Aki, where are you? Nowhere, but could you, by any chance, open your door? He heard something almost like a chuckle from the other end of the line, but it was hard to tell through the echo of his own breathing. He was panting, and if it weren't for the sprint to the hospital a few days prior, he wouldn't know when was the last time he pushed himself this far past his limits. Okay, are you close by yet? Yes. It didn't really sound like yes, but Kindaichi understood regardless. I'm gonna hang up now and see you in a bit. No. Huh? Don't hang up, please. A sudden panic flooded his system at the thought, as if simply being unable to hear his voice would make all of it true. every single horrible picture in his mind that blossomed into existence after that one day, just because he had to wait for a few minutes to confirm that they were indeed a lie. Okay, I'm still here, it's okay. Kunimi nodded. Even though he knew Kindaichi couldn't see him, he didn't trust his own voice enough but silently prayed that the other would understand. His house came into view and the spiker accelerated his steps once more. I'm here. He forced the words out. Kunimi barely managed to slow down his steps before colliding with the door, or rather with Kindaichi, who was already there. He was there. Relief and exhaustion battled within him as the first tear fell, while he couldn't do anything but stare at the taller. Kindaichi stared back at him with more concern filling his eyes as he saw the other panting and holding his sides, followed by the tears. Kunimi was still in his pajamas and it wasn't exactly a warm night at the beginning of fall. Akira. He reached his hands out to his boyfriend, who immediately accepted the gesture, as best as he could in his current state. He practically fell against Kindaichi's chest, feeling overwhelmed and suddenly much less stable than a few minutes prior. The seams of his vision blurred a bit, and all he could do was rely on the taller. Kindaichi watched him with a growing worry as more and more of his boyfriend's weight leaned against him. He was quick to put an arm around his shoulder and guide him inside. For a moment, no one said anything as he led him to the couch and provided the spiker with pillows and blankets. I'm sorry. What for? You're still healing, and Don't worry, I'm fine. It was really nothing. Kunimi didn't exactly look like he believed him though. Kindaichi had never seen him worried to this extent. What about you? Lately you pushed yourself past your limits more than once. This isn't healthy. What if you collapse in the middle of the street? He didn't answer and just avoided his gaze. Kunimi. I had to make sure you are alright. New tears built up in his eyes, even though he fought them, wiping them away furiously and tried to hide them from Kindaichi. He knew very well how stupid this was, even without the other reminding him. Kindaichi, however, even if a little confused, didn't look at him like he was stupid or as pathetic as he felt right now, freaking out this much because of a nightmare to a point where he mistaked it for reality. Kindaichi's eyes were tender as they searched his gaze. They were soft with affection. I'm alright. Here, see? He took Kunimi's hand and guided it over his heart. He could feel it beating under the skin and bones, a steady and soothing rhythm. Kunimi gulped. He didn't know what to say, just that he felt incredibly lucky to be with Kindaichi out of all people, that he wanted him and took him seriously even when he did something this silly, showing up in the middle of the night at his doorstep. He couldn't put his gratitude into words, no matter how much he tried. Instead, he reached for Kindaichi's collar, pulled him down and kissed him. He put all his emotions he felt, most of all his devotion to the other, into the kiss in hopes it would make him understand the things he couldn't say. The taller reciprocated the gesture, a willing target for the passionate flames ignited between them. When they separated, he leaned his forehead against Kunimi's, holding his hands as if he never intended to let him go again. Maybe he didn't. Are you better now? The other nodded, a bit shaky and still positively overwhelmed at this point. So, that was proof enough then, that I'm alright? He grinned and stole another quick kiss from him.
Kunimi pouted in response and shook his head. I'm afraid you have to stay right here to prove it. His smile softened, and he leaned down to press a tender kiss to his hair. If you want cuddles, you can just say so, you know. Kunimi felt his skin heating up and said nothing. He didn't have to. Kindaichi was already climbing onto the couch beside him, making sure they both were comfortable before snuggling closer. I love you, you know. That means I will stay by your side for as long as I can, for as long as you want me there. Kunimi's blush darkened, and he leaned into his touch. You know that means that you will never get rid of me, right? The other laughed. So cheesy. Who are you, and what did you do to my Kunimi? He nudged him playfully in his side. Shut up, you started it. But I mean it. Me too. Thanks for watching to the end. I hope you liked this video. That was it for this ship for now in this timeline. But let me know if you want more of KinKuni, because I'm not as experienced with writing them yet, but it was a lot of fun. And I can definitely see myself doing it again. So yeah, tell me if you want more of this. If you have any ideas or requests that you want me to write them in the comments. I would love to hear them. And if you liked it, please consider leaving a like, because it really helps my channel grow. And if you don't want to miss out on anything in the future, consider subscribing. And now I hope you have a wonderful and amazing day. Whee!